Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We're learning Mishna Beitza, Perek Beis, chapter 2. Perek Beis, chapter 2, Mishna Test, Mishna 9.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning to you, too. Nice to see you.
That's in the wrong place.
Harei Chaim. Okay, so now this Mishnah is not going to be discussing the laws of Yontif. It's actually be discussing the laws of Tumah, of impurity. But because we mentioned a Rechaim Shal Pilpul, we mentioned a peppercorn grinder. So now we're mentioning another halacha regarding that. A Rechaim Shal Pilpul, the pepper grinder, Tamei Mishum Shloisha Kalim, can actually be tamei as three distinct utensils. Now here they have a picture of this pepper grinder. Okay, the bottom is the container where the ground pepper falls into. The top is the pestle that you grind the pepper with. The middle is a mesh that the ground pepper falls through into the container. Okay, that's what gets separated. Whatever. That's what I guess separates the stuff you don't want from what you do want. Those are the three parts, and the Mishnah says each part by itself can be considered, even if, let's say, this grinder is disassembled. Each part can be considered a utensil on its own and be susceptible to tumah. So the Mishnah explains, Tamei mishum shloisha kelim, it can be tamei as three utensils. Mishum kli kibul, it can be tamei as a wooden vessel that has a receptacle to it. Or mishum kli matachais, and it can be tamei as a metal utensil, mishum kli kvara, and as a sieve. Now let's go through each part. The Mishnah is trying to teach us here a chiddush, trying to teach us something, a novel idea, and that is that the first part it mentions is that it could be tamei as a kli kibul, as a vessel utensil. This is going on the bottom part, which is the part that catches the ground pepper. If it's made out of wood, it could only be susceptible to tumah if it has a receptacle to it. Yeah. A flat, a pshutei kli eitz, a wooden vessel that is straight, that doesn't have the receptacle to it. Even if it's usable, even if you do something with it, the rule is, this is the Torah's rule, Gzeres HaKasav, the decree of the Torah. A wooden utensil is only susceptible to tumah if it can receive something, if it has a base kibul, has a receptacle. That's the rule. So the bottom one is a receptacle. It catches the ground pepper, and therefore it can be susceptible to tumah. Now the next part, it says mishum kli matachais, and because of it can be considered as tamei as a metal vessel. Now that part, utensil, that part is going on the top part, which is the pestle. Now the pestle is made out of wood. Is it a receptacle? No, it's not. Nonetheless, we're calling it a metal utensil. Why? Because of the fact that the bottom of this pestle was plated with metal to make the grinding more effective. So being that the bottom part is plated with metal and you use that in the grinding, the status of this pestle is that of a metal utensil. And a metal utensil doesn't have to be a receptacle. Okay, so that's why it says it can be tamei as a metal vessel, metal utensil. That's going on the pestle. Mishum kli kvara it means where as a sieve. Now, like the top part of the grinder, the middle section, the mesh, does not have a receptacle. I guess again, it's made as a it's like you see in the picture here. They try to make it a mesh,
like
right?
The
filter, it's a sieve. Mm-hmm. So the point is that the ground pepper is going to fall through. The parts, I guess, that didn't grind well aren't going to go through, and it's meant to be like a sifter, a sieve. Now, if it's made out of wood, is it a receptacle? No. So therefore, minat Torah, according to Torah law, it is not susceptible to tumah. Nonetheless, midrabanan it is. According to rabbinic law, it is susceptible to tumah. Why is that? The sages decree that any mesh item, meaning even made out of wood, can become a tamei because it resembles woven material, which is biblically susceptible to tumah. Kli arug, meaning it's woven out of cloth, that is susceptible to tuma. Okay, and the Chachamim were concerned that if there be any kind of mesh material that would be, now according to Torah law, you could have, if it's wooden mesh material, then it's not susceptible to tuma. If it's cloth mesh material, it is susceptible to tuma.
Cheesecloth.
Right, it is susceptible to tuma. But midrabanan, they said any mesh material, even wooden, is susceptible to tuma. It's not to confuse it with the woven material, which minat Torah is susceptible to tuma. So therefore, the wooden mesh, although minat Torah it's not susceptible to tuma, midrabanan it is, so as not to come to think that any mesh material, even woven material, isn't susceptible to tuma. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Even the sieve it's going to separate